Well, good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Dallas Baldwin, Franklin County Sheriff, and today we are holding a news conference to bring attention to a couple of tragic cases that occurred back in 2024. And even in 2023. These are fatal traffic accidents that have occurred and have not yet had a resolution. And we know there's always at least one witness to a hit-and-run accident. So we wanted to highlight these for the family to bring some closure. And so if anybody out there has any information about these accidents, please call in. If you're the perpetrator, if you're the one, we'd ask you to have a heart. Think about these families. Call in. But thank you for coming in to give some attention to this. And I'd like to introduce my Chief Deputy, Jim Gilbert, who will give some more information on these two accidents. Chief.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'm Chief Jim Gilbert with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Patrol Bureau, the traffic unit that handles accident investigations and fatal and serious accident investigations underneath my command. The first case we want to highlight is Angela Psky, age 21. Her fatal injury accident occurred, ironic as this is going to be on Christmas Eve of last year. So we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary on December the 24th of this fatal accident occurring and the ongoing investigation. On December the 24th of 2023 at 6:44 p.m., our communications center received a call from a witness about a fatal injury accident in which a vehicle left the scene. Ms. Psky and her boyfriend were traveling on Dyer Road, just north of Jackson Pike in Jackson Township, when they stopped because of a flat tire. Ms. Psky exited the vehicle and crossed Dyer Road when a silver or gray Chevy Cobalt struck her, causing fatal injuries. The driver of the Chevy Cobalt never stopped after striking and leaving Ms. Psky in the roadway. If you have any information on this incident, you can stay anonymous by calling Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS. That's also 614-461-8477. Again, you can stay anonymous and can receive a monetary award for tips that lead to the arrest and or conviction of the driver of the Cobalt. We also want you to call, if you don't want to stay anonymous and you want to talk to an investigator about this, you can call our traffic unit at 614-525-6113. The photo we want to share here on our board is a photo of Ms. Psky that the family provided us. She was 21 years old when she was taken from us, and the only image we have is a still image from a video that shows the Cobalt braking and then leaving the scene on Jackson Pike, northbound from Dyer Road. So that's the best image that we have of the vehicle. And I'll summarize at the end of this one we're going to highlight, and the next one, again, what we want you to do in regards to contacting us. For the next one, we actually have family members here, so we're going to have the family members come in right now. I'll give them time to set up as well.
Sorry, I'm late.
Right here's good. Let me know when you're ready. Your audio good?
Ready.
The next one we want to highlight is in regards to a fatal hit skip that occurred on August the 26th of this year, August the 26th of 2024. This is Noel Chavez, age 46. We have Mr. Chavez's family here with us today. We're asking for any information at all to be relayed to our investigators, and I'll go over those numbers here in a second, but I want to give you some highlights of this investigation. On August the 24th of 2024, a witness called into our communications center reporting a bicyclist was down and on the roadway on State Route 3 near Ennis Road. State Route 3 is Westerville Road in the northeast part of Franklin County. The bicyclist was later identified as Noel Chavez, age 46. The witness was unsure of the vehicle that struck Mr. Chavez, and the videos in the area only showed a dark-colored sedan leaving the area at a high rate of speed with no distinguished marks on it. If you have any information in regards to this crash, we're asking for anyone to come forward, whether it's the driver. This driver could have talked to somebody. He could have been have family members that might have noticed new damage on a vehicle that maybe was in the area at the time. We'll take any tips that we can. Again, you can stay anonymous if you want to provide those tips through Crime Stoppers. That phone number is 614-461-8477, and or our traffic unit at 614-525-6113. At this time, I'd like to introduce the family, and they'd like to make a statement, I believe, and or we would be available also for any questions. And we have a translator here from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
Christine, why don't you introduce them all too? So Adelis is the sister of Noel. We have the nephew, and we have his brother, and the sister-in-law. And they are here to share a little bit about him, who he was as a person, and also to ask the public if they know anything to please come forward and share the information. That can be, it'll be private, it'll be anonymous if we can. So we have the nephew who wants to share a little bit in English about his uncle.
Yep, that's good right there.
All right. So my uncle was a good person. He was a really kind person. He cared for others. He always tried to make the mood up, bring the mood up. He never was like really a bad guy. He had his moods, he had his like attitudes, but I mean he wasn't like really a bad guy. Like I wouldn't think anyone would hate him, but I mean it's just that maybe his like way of speaking probably didn't hit right to others, didn't like he didn't spread the message right to the others, and maybe others just didn't like that. And so yeah, but he was really a good guy. He just loved to do many things. He loved to go out. He loved to party responsibly. And yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Araceli's gonna say a couple of words in Spanish, and I'll definitely translate for all of that don't speak Spanish.
Can you spell her name for us too, please?
Adelis is A-R-A-C-E-L-I-S.
Thank you.
Lo que yo quiero decirles, si alguien sabe o miró algo, que puedan decirnos para nosotros dar con el culpable. Porque mi hermano era una buena persona, era trabajador, honesto, no merecía morir de la forma que murió.
Araceli is saying that her brother was a nice, humble, working hard person, and she just wants anybody who have seen the accident and knows about anything to please come forward and share that information with them because she feels her brother did not deserve to die the way he did. So she's pleading with the community to please solve this case and bring them peace to the family.
Sería todo. Yo estaría muy agradecida y el que pueda decir algo, todo sería anónimo, pero les agradecería de corazón.
Should be very grateful and thankful for those that can come forward and share anything that can help solve the case. And she thanked everybody for helping out.
No tengo más que decirles que muchas gracias por ayudarnos.
Thank you for helping us.
Does anybody have any questions for them? Go ahead.
You know, the holidays are here and it's a time for celebrating with family. This has got to be really, really challenging for you guys right now. Can you kind of talk about that?
Ella dijo que ahora que estamos en las fiestas navideñas, que todo el mundo está en familia, ¿cómo ha sido para ustedes?
Muy difícil.
It has been
Muy
very
difícil.
difficult
No
to
es
be
lo
without
mismo.
him. It's not the same. I had a little conversation with them in the back before we got here, and they were sharing with me that things have changed abruptly because it was not,
Fue muy
something
difícil.
that they didn't expect to happen.
Fue muy difícil también darle la noticia a mi mamá, a mi familia en México. Fue devastador todo.
It was very difficult to share the news with her mom in Mexico. Everybody's devastated about the loss of Noel.
Did he leave behind any kids, a wife?
Él ha dejado un hijo, hija o
No, él
esposa.
estaba soltero.
He was
Él
single,
vivía
no kids.
conmigo, en mi casa.
He lived with Aracelis in the house.
Thank you.
All right, more information on the crash. It appears that, and we have the image here of the bike, that there was no witnesses, so the 911 caller came upon the bicycle and Mr. Chavez in the street, so we really have nothing to go on other than that he was struck on the bike, but it's our information that provided to the investigators was he utilized his bike to get around, to go to work, to do different things, and he had a light on the bike, so it's not like the person wouldn't have seen him. The light was functioning at the time of the crash, so he was meeting all the requirements to ride his bike on the side of the road when the accident happened. Just to wrap up both of these cases, this is the second time we've had Operation Holiday Remembrance. The reason why the sheriff tasked us with putting this together was because we know the holidays are here. It's tragic already losing a family member, but everybody that's lost a loved one, whether from health reasons or in this case tragically through an accident, a fatal accident, somewhere this family as well as another family is grieving around the holidays. So we're hopeful that one person can come forward. All we need is one call. Maybe this person's had a change of heart. Maybe this person's found is a person of faith and wants to come forward. Maybe they've had a conversation with a past coworker, a friend from high school, somebody at the local place where they go bowl, wherever that may be. Any tip potentially could lead us to closure for these families. And that's really why we want to do these around the holidays. And we're going to continue to highlight these as much as we can because both of these families are grieving, specifically this one. You know, on the Christmas Eve will be 1 year for the Psky family. So really our thoughts and prayers are with that family, this family, and all of our families from the previous ones we've highlighted. So, yes.
And you've already touched on it, but can you kind of talk a little bit more about how, you know, that case is a year old, but you guys don't stop searching for answers and trying to solve these cases?
Right, so very similar to a homicide case that's a cold case, our accident investigators are in touch with the family. We do everything we can to talk to the prosecutor's office on any potential leads we have. I meet quarterly with our investigators to discuss these fatal crashes to try to see where they're at. So again, lots of these cases we're going to need the help of the public. We as law enforcement couldn't do our job if it wasn't for the public's help with those type of tips that can come in. So yes, it's very, you know, these are one of about 15. Last year we highlighted 3, this year we're highlighting 2. If anybody has any information out there, it could be maybe this is going to be viewed on social media by somebody that's not associated with these skips. We'll hit these hit skips. We'll take your tips, and if it's not our agency that has it, we'll find the agency as to where the information needs to go.
And lastly, you know, what else can our viewers take away from this in terms of being aware of their surroundings, pointing things out to police, that sort of thing?
Well, it's incumbent upon you if you're involved in an auto accident to stop. So there's violation of law for you to leave the scene. And so the first thing we'd ask people to do, obviously distracted driving is become a primary offense here in Ohio. We are taking enforcement action when we see distracted drivers. Slowing down, wearing your seatbelt, being very cautious of your surroundings, not excessively speeding, not operating recklessly, ensuring that if you are impaired or you've been drinking or you've been consuming illegal narcotics, that somebody else is driving, you're utilizing one of the apps that's out there to get an actual ride. So those are all just main basic things for driving, for the safety, overall safety of the motoring public that we're asking people to do when they're behind the wheel.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here to cover this.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.